Oh boy, everybody, we have a crazy one for you today. We are back at Universal Studios for a massive Halloween Horror Nights update. This is probably the biggest Halloween Horror Nights updates I've seen yet. It's been about a week since we've been here, but it's probably gonna be a pretty long video, so go ahead and strap in for that. It's also 108 degrees out today, or the real feel is 108, so I'm gonna be taking it a little slow, not gonna cruise around too fast. But yeah, we have some food booths that are in place. We have more scare zones that have been updated, a lot of props. Also, the swamp scare zone is like double or triple what I feel like it started out as from last week's video. So a lot to cover in this video. So let's go ahead and get inside and hopefully stay cool. Again, very hot, but lots and lots to cover. Always checking the lights. Doesn't look like anything new with them, just a lot nonetheless. Another thing, we do not have the medallion yet, and this was taken down. A lot of people were assuming we were getting ready for the HHN medallion. No, we had the Tropical Storm Debbie that came through, so I think they learned their lesson where they went ahead and took it down in preparation to make sure that it doesn't have any issues. Either way, let's head on in. It's a little windy, so that is kind of nice. Before we even scan in to the park right now, there we go. We have the entryway arches with the speakers on them ready to go. Pointed this direction, these gates will be flooded soon enough with guests waiting to get inside. Now this big truss box that we have as we are walking in has been getting more details put in place. We have two big speakers on the end. I feel like I don't remember them being like that white beige color, but I could definitely be wrong. We also have that side panel there, so maybe we have people walking up. I'm gonna guess if we do, it would be Sinister and Surreal sitting up there, maybe giving their entry speech as they prepare for you to come in, kind of like how Dr. Oddfellow did. Again, a lot of lights there too that have now been put into place, projections, everything like that. Obviously, we'll see what ends up happening with their scare zone, if it is gonna be kind of a choose your path kind of situation. Today though, we are heading to New York first. We've been going to Hollywood, but I do want to go to New York because there's a lot of new stuff going on over there. We've been waiting to see what's been going on. Also, one thing I'm just going to point out, because we'll probably end over here at Hollywood, I don't think we're going to get many updates for that before opening night, just because the parade will still be going on for daytime guests over there, which means that they're not going to have a lot of stuff out in the streets, so they don't want to like have to pull everything in and out. So I think there's going to be a lot of things that are wheeled out before like HHN actually starts for the night. They have started to clear out a lot of the Paris Olympic stuff that has been here. We are getting ready for them to put obviously a queue, put some stuff up on display, everything like that. But take a look before we actually even get over to the scare zone. What is that right there? That, my friends, is an Insidious food booth, which lends me to believe this will be the Insidious house inside of this queue heading back to the sound stages. So that is going to be my guess based on the fact that we have the Insidious food booth right here. That is kind of making sense, right? Let's go get a closer look. Hey, we have a pen. I don't think that has anything to do with the food booth itself, but gosh, they do such a good job with all of the design. I love that they are doing themed food booths to the houses, and I think it's going to be all the IP houses. I think that's what they did last year, but how fun is that? Also, this one is just like straight up Insidious. I feel like last year some of them were kind of like trying to like mask like what it was and kind of theme it to it, but not just like outright say it. But it is kind of funny that it's just like Insidious the food booth. We do also have the signs that are popping up a lot more right now as we are preparing for this time of year. Face your demons. Let's see the backside. Obviously doors closed. Let's see, anything interesting back here? It doesn't really look like it. Pretty bland, to be honest with you. Obviously, it's just the back side of the food booth. Now, I know we were very excited about the Insidious food booth and having more themed food booths, but how about I show you two more right here. Now, first up would be the Twilight Tavern. I'm guessing this is going to be for the Monsters house, if I were to throw it out there. Also, I see somebody has written icons right there in like the dust, so that's kind of funny. But I do think this would have to lend itself probably to be more so the Monsters house that we're getting this year. Maybe it's for the icons, but I feel like they do the food booths that are themed for all of the IP houses, so I think that would make a little bit more sense. Love this. It kind of reminds me actually of last year as you were like entering into like the Paris catacomb situation that we had for the Monsters house. This obviously is not going to be the same one, but it does look dang good. I like they put like the little fake lights up there too. I wonder actually if they will be lit up at night. I don't know if this is meant to have like this like white kind of like putty stuff in between. I don't know if they just kind of put those pieces together. So maybe they're just waiting for it to dry and then they'll maybe paint over it, because you can see it over here too. So my guess is it's kind of like pieces that they assembled. But either way, I really do like the design of this. Kind of simple, but also lets you know what you're kind of dealing with right here. So love that. Then right next door, we have the Twisted Tater, and it was Tater Tots Live. Now it is Twisted Tater, and it's kind of funny. I almost feel like the Twisted up there reminds me almost of like Twister, which is kind of interesting, but I don't think that's at all the case. We have a little bit more kind of fun little Easter eggy kind of things down here. We have some sort of demon eyes inside of a doghouse here. We have blood splatter on the actual menu pieces, and then we have some blood splatter that is also down here on like the serving. So it is kind of fun. Whatever happened here looks like, I don't know, rabid dog or something. You can even see that it's kind of crooked. If I back up just for you guys a little bit, you'll actually see how like the stand there looks like it's almost shifted over there to the right. Kind of fun little, I don't know, just like tidbits here. The coloring kind of gives you like kid vibes, right? The red, the yellow, the greens, the blues. I mean, things like that. I feel like it definitely screams like kind of more kid-centric. So I don't know what exactly was going on. Obviously it was a Tater Tot Live, so I'm wondering if that was like a show or something. If there is something that I'm missing there, go ahead and let me know in the comments. But either way, I do like this one. I don't know what this actually pertains to, if it's an IP or not, because I don't think so. This might just be a fun booth that they kind of put in place. But either way, that is both of your new food booths. Again, Twilight Tavern and Twisted Tater. I'm gonna assume that they sell Twisted Taters here. I don't know what they're gonna sell at the Twilight Tavern. And I'm sure over there in the corner, you may be seeing what's coming up in just a second. I wanna show you one more thing though. Right back here in this little cubby, I guess, where the bar tends to go, it has been all cleared out, so I'm guessing they will start preparing everything, putting their little serving dock up here and getting this ready to go. So all of the construction is set in place at this point. But like you've already seen, we have seen 3 food booths. How about we add 2 more? These have to be my favorite ones of the 5 that we do have here so far. These are definitely for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Look at how good the team did on these food booths. They used like some sort of cutout, I don't know if it's foam or whatever it is, here to give you kind of the ice look here. You can like smell the fresh paint still. They even did like spray brushing here with the paint to kind of give it that icicle look. They used a lot of elements here. Even this looks like the containment unit that they hold all of the ghosts in. That is so freaking cool. Up there, we have the ice. Again, it is 3-dimensional, so they had to have cut it or 3D printed, whatever they ended up doing. You know, even like the doors. I know it's so simple, but the doors at the other booths were black. These ones are white just to keep on to that theme. So every little detail they think about here. Even in like the fake windows up there, you can see like the ice covered over. That is so cool. We'll take a look at the one right next to us, but I want to look at this one last time. We have the lighting even in place. So cool. All right, then we'll check this one out. Next up, we do have Ivan's New York City Deli and Grocery, family owned since 1984 here. This also has the bits of Frozen on here, not as over the top like that other one. I wonder if this one will actually sell sandwiches based on the deli idea. You could see New York City spray painted on there. Best selection in town, please no smoking, thank you. What's over here? Tickets available, live music, street food, fireworks, an ATM. All right, what is, oh, is there ice? Bags of ice. Are they sold out though? Now the menus themselves aren't quite what they were on the other side. Also, you see like blue there up in the corner, so I wonder if they originally were gonna have these blue again like ice. I went with more of this yellow theme. Also small little detail, many of you guys may have not seen here, but it looks like it's almost like a garage door, kind of like those stands you would find out in New York where they kind of like slide them open and close as they open up their little stands. So cool. Ice cold beer, snacks, and souvenirs. Wouldn't it be cool if they actually sold souvenirs here? Maybe food is considered a souvenir to some people. Either way, really like that they use kind of the brick and texture here, and everything just looks so good. I am in love with these. They look amazing, and I'm really looking forward to getting those menu items. Typically those don't pop up till very close to the event. I am cooking out here right now. Please, if you guys are enjoying today's video, give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to the channel. It really does mean a lot. You guys have no idea how much that actually supports me when I am out here doing this kind of stuff. But either way, We are here now at Torture Fair. It is hot, hot. I feel like we are getting close to that 110 marker right now. This is it. We finally have all of these details coming together on this stage. This was just a black stage just about a week ago, and now we have Ye Olde Torture Fair 2024. Like we kind of predicted, I think all of the scare zones I predicted in place are currently happening. Obviously it wasn't too hard to guess, but it is cool to see that we kind of nailed that there. We have, again, the kind of fair, almost jester style coloring here, that red and yellow. This is locked up. I wonder, because it is chained up, if it will stay chained or if this will ultimately end up opening up or maybe just rattling as kind of the night is going on. Scary face up there. We have the speakers in place. Look at this entire stand here. And I think in the concept art, there was like a king and queen spot up here, so we'll see if they end up pulling some chairs up. Something is on the back there, so I don't know if that's just kind of covering the scare actors. Also, we have some sort of grate here right in front of us, so I wonder if they're going to be doing smoke or something coming out, or a fire effect. Would be pretty cool to see. Obviously the stairs should go up and down back there. And yeah, they can hide it so much, but pretty sure I see feet in there, and this is most likely a hanging body into this bucket. I wonder if there will be like blood or anything kind of like dripping down. It might just be kind of there and, I don't know, rattling or whatever, having this kind of filled up with water. I don't know, waterboarding or something kind of crazy. I don't know. Cool to see that they have like this castle structure here on this design on the outside here with the painting. So cool. Really coming together. Also, I want to show you a few things on the back side. We have our first spotted fog machines right here. Also lighting pointing over the other direction, kind of facing more towards like the Fallon ride over there. This will probably be closed off for the most part, so that way they can kind of come in and out as they need. And then obviously you have the big electrical box here as well. And then over here on this side, 2 more fog machines. Wow. This came together fast. It looks like they were wrapping something up maybe for the storm, or just kind of keeping the connections covered there. But this was out for a few days now, so I do think Tropical Storm Debbie actually probably came through here at one point. But guys, just take a look at this. Tell me this doesn't look amazing. And I know maybe some of you guys don't care about like any fairs like this, you know, going to any Renaissance fairs or anything, but I do feel like this is going to be a very cool zone. Obviously, we know that this was Vamp 69 from last year, and this tends to be such kind of a long and fun zone for the most part, but I hope they really make this one a little bit scary, not just like loud, but just fun and just like, I don't know, pretty aggressive, have the characters look kind of weird. I don't know, this is dark. You know, I feel like Vamp 69 doesn't have that dark feel. This definitely feels dark. The irony of stopping in the Christmas shop because it is hot, so I'm just taking a quick break out of the heat, and then we'll continue on. But I just thought it was kind of funny. We also have this stand very much similar to the ones that we had last year for Vamp 69, but definitely designed a little differently. This is kind of the end of Torture Fair. Only one of these out here right now. I do think these are speakers here that are kind of covered in like that knapsack material. I think this piece and this piece are new, by the way. I feel like I can see some like hot glue down there or something. So I think these 2 things have now shown up inside of this store over here. I don't remember if this was here, this like big like pop thing, but I think it was. Again, it's so hard to find what was and wasn't here. Just to point out, we do have lighting that has definitely started to take place in more places here down this strip. So we have some on this building, over there, a lot of it pointing downward now at this point. Same thing over there, lots of lighting, again, pointing down, even right here. All of the lighting pointing down to the street, so they have installed a lot of the lights that will be kind of lighting this whole area up. I think it's a little bit more than we had last year. Still waiting to see what they do with Sting Alley here. It would have been cool, actually, if they put the Ghostbusters one in here and kind of like had this fun little theme in there as you walk through, but they did a really good job with it last year for The Last of Us. I wonder if they'll do something like that again this year. Really hope so, because that was one of my like favorite all-time food booths that I've ever witnessed, just because of how cool the theme was and like how unique all of the items were. Still not finished with all of the construction here for the show buildings. However, the middle section here to walk through is finally open. Looks pretty much always open now at this point. We still do have a lot of walls over there, and I think they're getting close, but there is still a bit that is unfinished, some ropes and things like that. So we are still kind of waiting, hopefully not too much longer. I'm assuming it'll be done before opening night. I mean, that's still a few weeks away, but you know, we are getting there. It's still construction walls at this point. Can y'all spot what I'm about to show you next? I zoom in a little bit. Now, as you can see, we have 2 of the stacks there, and then also you can see suites right there written on that facade. So exciting. And obviously we have what we are walking into here in the Major Suites factory. I think this is kind of like a tent there that they have now inflated up or kind of set up. But I don't think that's normally there. I am really hoping that they can knock that house out of the park, just because I feel like it's going to be so cool if the entire like factory facade work looks good inside. They kind of like do it all up. I don't know, really looking forward to that house. And after seeing stuff like that, makes me super excited. Last time we were here inside of the Blumhouse zone, I was asking you guys, what do you think is going to be all of the kind of IPs that they use here? Because I mean, it's Blumhouse, so I think they could just use whatever they want. And we kind of have those answered. Also, it looks like we have some speakers out here. We have light bars here that look like they're going to be displaying up here on the signage for the big BH Blumhouse. We also have another Blumhouse sign on this side. It was only on the other side to start. Now they've put it on both sides here. We were kind of expecting that at some point. Now here are 2 IPs that should be coming in. One of them being Black Phone right here. We can see the Black Phone on the wall. And then right here should be the Purge. So you see Hide. If we kind of like look at all of the graffiti on this, it is just kind of all riddled up. But then if you swing around the backside here, it says Purge. Now there are some other fun things on here. You kind of have like the Pac-Man Ghost and kind of like just like random things, some stars. What do we have here? It looks like kind of like a face here of some sort. So there's some fun stuff. You have Boo down there. So it's kind of cool, but I do think this kind of pertains to the Purge. We had the Black Phone over there, and I believe I saw Happy Death Day maybe. Let's see, there was also Freaky, and I think that was it in like the display. I don't remember. But again, we have this from the Doors. Let's come over here, and I believe that this should be Freaky. So again, a lot of actually things we've had in like past houses. So it is kind of interesting. I wonder if this is like the exact one from the house that they use. It does look very similar, but I'm not totally sure. Either way, we do have more lights and projectors up there with a few more speakers in place. Actually, I think we had 4 speakers last time, so I think we just have a few more lights and a few more projectors up here. But this whole zone is starting to come together a little bit more for sure. Nothing new in like that truss back there with the projectors as well. We do, like I said, have that new sign, some pieces coming together for the Blumhouse now, as we are kind of expecting this to show up with just random characters from the IP is my assumption. Also, we have that electrical box over there that I assume they'll end up covering at some point. Now this zone could be really cool. I'm hoping that it kind of like delivers with all the different IPs. I feel like a lot of people like those, especially from some of the houses. So we'll see. You know, obviously we really like the Black Phone, so maybe seeing some of those characters roam around could be interesting. I don't really know. Same thing over here, by the way. We do have the light bars set up and the speakers here. Looks like they're actually strapped down now. I feel like they were just freestanding before. Now it looks like they're attached to a hook there. But either way, looks like everything is starting to line up here for Blumhouse. Now it is blocked off over there. There is kind of a like little tape thing. And we do have some lights that have gone on these trusses, but we do have signage over there. And I'll show you once we get across over into like the Simpsons area. We'll look across the lagoon and I'll show you guys what that says. Another pit stop here. And I don't even know where we're at. The pastry place here. I'm so hot. It's so hot out here. We have a few more things again to do around the corner. Nightmare Fuel, I think. They have some set things that are up there. I've seen some like testing going on. We do have the entire swamp area, like I said, double, almost tripled in like set pieces that have gone up over there. There's another food booth to cover, so still quite a bit that we need to cover here. Again, I knew it was going to be a long one just because I saw so many updates here today. But like I said, I have to go a little slow because I'm cooking. It is very hot out there. I'm sweating like crazy. I mean, 30 minutes and I'm like, oh, gotta step inside. So make sure, again, you guys are staying hydrated out here. It gets very, very hot. So you can kind of see it is a circus theme this year. So way back there, you can see the things hanging from the ceiling. I don't know if it's just kind of like torn. I don't know, just what you would imagine you would have like circus tents made out of. Let's see if we can find more on the other side. It's still a little hard to see. I've seen like higher angles that are looking down. I feel like there's almost like a front facade that looks almost like a circus tent. But again, you kind of just have like the scraps up top, just some sort of cloth or whatever that looks to be shredded. So I have heard that they are doing testing on lighting and everything like that. But either way, I'm excited to see kind of a new iteration of the Nightmare Fuel show. Over here on the bridge, we did see that truss here, and everything looks to be pretty empty, except we do have our one lonesome food booth, which I feel like we have every single year here. I feel like it's typically some drinks, maybe a twisted tater. I don't know. I like the design. It's kind of giving me, again, Monsters vibes. So maybe it is a themed food booth for them. I don't know. Nicole and I really like this entire zone when they make it all kind of like lit up and really kind of bring it together. I think it also kind of helps with the crowds because more people are over here. But if there's only one food booth, I feel like not a lot of people come back here unless they just assume that it's kind of too far out of the way and people won't come this way. But you typically do have, what, 3 houses or 2 houses at least back here, plus with the new sprung tents. We might be having more. I don't really know. I mean, we have 2 trusses over there. We obviously typically have 1 or 2 entrances over here. So I don't know, we'll have to keep an eye out, but yeah, we do have 1 food booth here. I'd like to see at least 2 or 3 more if possible. I think we are preparing for some storms here. Thankfully, we're losing a little bit of sun. I think we should be able to finish up these updates, however. But one thing I want to point out, we actually have 2 new haunts we are doing this year. We are doing Sir Henry's in September, so that'll be a really cool video. Haven't done that before. And then we're also doing Hollow Scream here at SeaWorld Orlando. We're not doing Busch this year, at least not as of yet. Maybe we'll change our mind, but for now we for sure have SeaWorld Orlando's Hollow Scream event and then Sir Henry's Haunted Trail. And that is, again, in September. And that is over in Plant City, which is about an hour-ish, maybe an hour and a half from Orlando, just so you guys are aware. But either way, we will be covering those. Another great reason to subscribe to the channel, so you guys are informed when those videos go live. Now, we are hustling over to swamp up the Undead to try and beat this rain. Also, there's a better look at the scrim or kind of whatever they're doing over there for the bar. So it is just, again, like those white drapes there. Hopefully, we'll see something soon. Let's head right in to Swamp of the Undead. Already, this little area right here, full of new details. We have all of the woodwork. We have almost kind of these like side panelings. We have kind of that mesh up top as well. More of the long grass and moss down here, filling up these boats now, or whatever we're calling them, canoes, whatever. But they now have things inside of them that are now down there. We have tires over here. We have a lizard. He's making a guest appearance. I still do really like that they're using real like branches and trees here because it actually gives it much more lifelike kind of features. Same thing with like the grass here, it's not fake. Obviously you have like the stuff back there that is fake, but I feel like that definitely brings a lot more character to it and really sells it. And we kind of have the same thing over here. We almost have like the window siding here that looks like it is now torn off the edge. We have some rope now that has been attached. Again, just more overgrowth here. Now, this stuff falls from like pine trees. I don't know if they put that here or if this is just falling from the trees, but we have that all over our yards down here in Florida, so that's kind of funny, but it could make sense that it is in kind of this like swampy area. A wooden door with kind of that screen that has now been torn off here as well. This is new. Also, we do have a swamp puppy that has made it to this scare zone, as you can see right there by his tail, and he is covered up, so I don't know what is underneath there. We have some fishing net here with some bobbers under there as well. Very cool. I mean, this is completely covered at this point. We could see underneath beforehand. We do have some fog machines down there right through the crack. Let's see how many. We could see more than one. I think there's a speaker that is also covered up down there. But yeah, definitely some fog machines in here. So I know we were kind of pointing out the misters that are back here, and now it definitely seems like we're getting both the fog and kind of that misting fog that comes. So I think we're gonna have 2 layers of it back here. Now again, there was the tail for that gator over there, and then over here, we have another one. So it does look like we're gonna have 2 under here. I wonder if there's like a person under there and they're kind of like attacking him or something, or if they're just sitting there. I feel like gators aren't that scary, so I feel like there's gotta be something else under there that they're trying to cover up. Over here, we do see some bottles inside of a little carrying area, some gloves, some lily pads down here that they've now added. Just more shrubbery and like just taking over. It's so crazy because you walk through this all of the time when it's not the HHN season. And I mean, this is all just like open. And then they put all this here and you're like, ah, this is probably just how it normally is. And it's not. They set all this up, which is really cool. Also, there's those things. I forgot what they're called. If you guys know the name, make sure to let me know in the comments below. Over here, it looks like we have either a license plate or maybe it's like a driveway sign or like a road sign rather, but I can't really make out what it says. Just like one of those like cleaning board things here, maybe like a tool or a fishing lure box right there, a net. Very cool. So definitely getting a lot of the vibes now of the bayou and everything inside of here. Just putting all of the extra touches to really sell it and bring it to life. We do have something covered up over there. I think it's a speaker. My guess is from Tropical Storm Debbie. Anything that was out beforehand is probably covered up just because we had some pretty bad storms before. Also, we have more lily pads down here. And this right here, this is what I'm trying to talk about. What are they called? I think it's a something tail. Is it a cat tail or a... It's these. And I feel like you kind of like... You can make them like puff up and they spread out. I don't know. I've seen them before. I just don't know what they are. I feel like there's videos of people like eating them. Don't eat them. Right in front of this hut here, we have a raft with some tires down here. And it almost looks like, I don't know if this is like something you would store food or something in. Not totally certain. We also have a little lantern there. More trees growing over with some moss and such here. Oh, there's like dirt on this one now, like mud, dirt, clay maybe. But really, I mean, look at all of the work now to our little hut here, somebody's house. And the front door, the screen door, has been torn. It looks like it's hanging. You have a little chair there. You have some lights. You have more of the kind of like sheets that are hanging over the edge there. More shrubbery and things underneath that have been put into place. Really designing it well. You have what looks to be maybe a little hanging thing for their clothes, like the hanging line. I don't know. I see like little like pins over there. They added another turtle shell. So what do we got? Like Bill and Bob over here. Both of them, huh? And then we got some jars. So yeah, they're really adding more. Gosh, there's so much that they're doing. Again, this was just a little stand before. We see the misters are all covered up over there too. Looking good. I'm very excited for this scare zone this year. I think it's going to be so good. I think just the set alone. And I want to show you this over here. This is new. I guess before we get over there, let's look more here. Now I think, is this like a crawfish trap of some sort? I feel like these are like crawfish traps. And then we have more of these like nets that they use for like fishing. A little basket up there. More tires, just random tires all over the place. Another, this looks like the crawfish one too. I guess I don't know how they work, but I've never done it, so maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. You guys also can let me know there. Anything that I'm not certain on, you guys can always leave comments and let me know if there's something that is correct. I know some of you guys have kind of pointed out the correct terminology for a lot of this stuff too. It's just hard to remember a lot of that. Again, another one of those like cleaning washboards there. Another little tackle box or maybe a toolbox in general right in front of us. So let's see, over here we have a little mini buoy thing, a little life-saving device. Let's see right here, fragile. Do we have any fun Easter eggs? Blood splatter on there. More blood back here. Egypt. Interesting. So I don't know if that's legit or if they didn't cover it up for something, but it could also be a little tie to our haunted house that we're getting this year. Also another tire down here. But take a look at this. I believe this just showed up overnight, and this is a big airboat. So last year we had the plane. This year we've got an airboat. So you can see the giant propeller back there. We have the seat, the entire boat here. I'm guessing these get removed at some point. I think they're just covering it up for right now. Here, I'll hold the camera up so you guys can kind of see. Well, maybe I'm not tall enough. I don't know, but it is cool nonetheless to see that we have another giant prop piece here, just like we had that plane. So it's cool. I guess we'll see how much they kind of distress it this year. I guess last year it was kind of like a crash plane, so I don't think this one will get too distressed in my opinion. But either way, we'll kind of continue on. We have a little chair here broken down. Got a little garbage can. Just more kind of bits and pieces to this scare zone, just bring it all together. Let's see, across the way, they kind of dressed up a lot of these trusses, the bases of them. More tires, more plants, more bushes, more props, everything in here. I mean, it is crazy how many more pieces they added to this entire scare zone in literally a week. Seriously nuts. Also, you guys have to let me know, what is this? I feel like I'm right, but maybe I'm totally wrong. Or maybe, is it like a plant holder? Like, is it like one of those like vertical ones, you know, that like, or the hanging ones, hanging plant holders? But I think that's it for Swamp of the Undead. Again, there's a few small things that are here, just more plants, things like that. As you can see, we have just more of these like small little bushes, small little things there. We had just this last time. Now they added this bucket here. But again, a lot of stuff is kind of the same. They just keep adding on to it. Just again, more so selling this whole idea that we are walking through this bayou area. and I think it's going to be awesome. I really hope that the costumes and just like the scare actors really sell it too, because I feel like they make or break a zone a lot of times. Obviously you can have all of the cool set pieces and everything, but those scare actors can make kind of a more bland scare zone really pop. So props to all of them. Really hoping they do a great job this year. And from the costumes we've seen, I think it's going to be pretty dang cool. We are just about done here, but there are a few small things I do want to show you really quick. And one of those would be that we finally have our first TV in here for the menu display. So I told you this is kind of like housing it. Both of them have like the housing. That one doesn't have the TV yet. This one does. You can see TCL TV. But yeah, so we have our first one in place. So we'll wait to get the other one. Again, still don't know what it's gonna be. Also, another lizard is hanging out over there. As mentioned, I don't think we're getting any big scare zone pieces inside of Hollywood, because what I'm hearing is 2 p.m. I think is when they're gonna start doing the show, or the parade rather, that'll come through here. And they can't move a lot of the big set pieces out of the way, like take them off, put them back down. So I think what they'll do is they'll have so many pieces that they'll bring out for this scare zone. So I don't think we're gonna get a ton more in here. Maybe a few things here and there. Maybe out on the sidewalk or something if they want to do that. We have covered all of the new merch that they did release. Not too much, but there definitely were a few things. We have the Lil Boo kind of a pillow plush thing here that has returned. I think this was here last year. A few lanyard things and stuff like that. So we did a video on that. You guys can always go check that out if you want to see a full tour of everything. They do have a few more pieces of Scooby-Doo merch that have now hit the stores. Gosh, it's so soft. You've got a t-shirt there, you've got a hoodie. It's on the back here. Got Scoob and Shag running from a ghost. And some pretty nice quality. It's actually Loungefly, which is crazy. Is this one Loungefly? It is. Loungefly shirt, so this is gonna be expensive. I don't think I've ever seen a Loungefly hoodie. And that is, I think it's 70 or 78. It's kind of covered down there. I can't totally see. Let's see what this one is. This one's gonna be 37. So I guess it's kind of on par to what their shirts normally cost. And then I think this is a new hat. I don't think this one was here before. And I don't know about the socks either. We did cover a lot of this other merch here. But either way, we do have those new shirts from Loungefly. Well, that is it for your Halloween Horror Nights update. It was a long one today. I know that. It was a lot to cover. It was fun. It was hot. It was just, there was so much here. I'm very excited to see what is coming here in the coming weeks now as we are approaching opening night. Also, if you guys didn't know, we do a lot more than Halloween Horror Nights content. We actually just rappelled off of a hotel in Celebration, Florida. We just tried like the lightning lane thing over at Disney. We have some really fun plans coming up towards the end of this year. So a lot of stuff to look forward to, really exciting. But either way, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. It was actually a lot of fun. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes here in the next few weeks. Either way, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.